we got breaking news. Russell Westbrook traded to the Nuggets. We got traded to the Jazz again, and the Jazz gonna buy him out again, but he's gonna go with the Nuggets. See, Russ been bounced around, bro. That's what I don't like. But you gotta understand, Russ been being bounced around, but he's getting bounced around to contenders. It's not like he's getting bounced around to teams like the Pistons or the Rockets or the Hornets. This dude's getting bounced around to contenders. So the NBA wants him to win a championship, bro. They're trying to put him in the right situation. You know what I'm saying? So I'm mad that he's bounced around, but I can't be mad he's getting bounced around to contenders. And right here, he's getting bounced around to another contender. Whoop-de-doo! That can use him because they don't got no bench. Shout out to Flight Mike. Russell Westbrook's final chapter is here. Relax. I don't like the title. I don't like the title already.
In 18 months, Russell Westbrook has been traded to the Utah Jazz.
You know, Russell Westbrook is one of my favorite players of all time.
Agree to a contract buyout once again.
What the hell is going on?
Eventually joined the Denver Nuggets after clearing waivers.
What's going on?
Another veteran to bolster the team's bench. And
finally, we have a huge trade involving a future NBA Hall of Fame, and thank God, because to be honest, I was kind of fiending for some roster transactions, man. So before we get to the content, we are 20,000.
That's how you know you an NBA trade head, bro. You get mad when there's no roster movement in the off season.
1 million subscribers. So you want to help us reach?
You a trade head.
Check if you're subscribed and have our notifications turned on. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok as well. If you guys want additional content and to tag me in stories you want me to cover. And now that we get all that out of the way, do the intro.
Shout out to Flight Mike. Almost out of Millie.
Check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Over the past couple of weeks,
PG
we discussed how the Paul George trade completely altered the course of the NBA.
Bro's game was epic right here, bro. They were down by like 27. They came back and won.
It was a trade that the OKC Thunder didn't really have much of a choice but to make. The Clippers made an offer that the Thunder just couldn't refuse. And once that trade was made, the Thunder
Doc Rivers.
Westbrook and asked him,
Russ was his best when he had this hairstyle right here, though. When he had the little mohawk, frohawk, whatever, he was the best. He was the most efficient. He wasn't doing too much. You know how Russ get crazy sometimes. He wasn't too crazy. You know, average a nice 24 and 10. 8 rebounds. Flame Mike, you sponsored by Instacart or you use that?
Westbrook made a decision that guaranteed that he would never have stability on a basketball team for the rest of his career. And that's requesting a trade to the Houston Rockets so he could team up with his buddy, James Harden. Back then, James Harden wasn't washed. He wouldn't suffer that crippling hamstring injury for another couple of seasons. So at the time, it was seen as a very interesting move. But since then, Russell Westbrook just hasn't been able to find stability on a team. He played in Houston for one season, then gets traded to Washington for the next season to team up with Bradley Beal. Before the Los Angeles Lakers, for some reason, decided to gut out their championship-winning roster.
They ain't no championship winner, right? They lost in the first round of the season. They got Russ, bro. Before they got Russ, they lost in the first round to the Suns.
Trade for him.
The Suns posted that photo of them working out after the W in the locker room and whatnot. One of them in the back hallway, and haven't been the same since. Whoop-de-doo!
Despite Russell Westbrook being paid a supermax contract and not fitting in with the Lakers at all whatsoever, this iteration of the Lakers was so bad, and Laker fans hated Russell Westbrook for it. I mean, you would have fans heckling Westbrook.
And he hates y'all.
This
Westbrook.
Bro, look at this corny ass fan, bro. He says Westbrook on the title, but calls him Westbrook, bro. Yeah, Russ has every right to get it. Don't show the other clip, though. Don't show the other clip of him. if someone come to his face and calling him Westbrook to his face and say, Russell says, do it again, he still called him Westbrook. Don't show that clip. Don't show that clip. Show that.
Westbrook.
And even Russell Westbrook's demeanor would look bad. He would refuse to join the huddle at times whenever the Lakers were trying to game plan in the middle of games. He just seemed checked out for the most part. And I really can't blame him because I've always said as a Los Angeles Laker fan, it just looked right for Russell Westbrook to be in a Laker jersey. But the way in which this happened was just terrible, honestly. He just simply didn't fit on the court with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So much so that the Lakers were doing anything anything that they possibly could to get out of Russell Westbrook's contract, and they were able to do so during the 2023 trade deadline. The Lakers agreed to a deal that would bring them D'Angelo Russell, Jared Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley, and would ship Russell Westbrook to the Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz would buy him out, and Russell Westbrook would make a decision that honestly for him seemed like a good time. He would reunite with his teammate Paul George on the Los Angeles Clippers. He took a veteran minimum contract, well, because he agreed to a supermax contract during his last contract. So it didn't really bother him to take less money, and the very next year,
That team was, now you had Robert Covington, Batum, we traded him for Harden, bro. Harden didn't want to come off the bench, and that ruined everything, bro. Harden should have went to the bench, buddy Harden. Bench Harden. Last time Harden, like I said, I've been saying this all season long. Last time Harden came wins in the finals, he was all coming off the bench, bro. Why don't he think that? I want to go back. I want to win a championship. Last time I was in a championship round, I came off the bench. Maybe I should come off the bench. Whoop-de-doo! Whoop-de! Come on now! Dang!
Clippers even traded for another familiar friend of his. For the very third time, Russell Westbrook would get to team up with James Harden on the Clippers, but this time with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Russ would do everything he possibly could to make sure this team would be successful, making the ultimate sacrifice, agreeing to come off of the bench and take
He didn't look. No one told him to come off the bench. He decided to do it himself for the greater good of the team, bro.
significantly less money in order to make things work out. Russ was selling out for a chance to win a championship. And to be honest, this is the type of sacrifice that prolonged his career. Because at this stage of his career, Russell Westbrook's game hasn't really evolved. He's still a horrific three-point shooter, so all opposing teams typically do is just back away from the three-point line and dare Russell Westbrook to shoot.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. He can't shoot.
Destroys the rest of his game. Can't really attack the rim as much as he was able to do back in his prime.
Yeah, he can't. He's saying he's old now.
Because no one really respects his jumper as much, which in turn leads to less assists. But still, he's a very solid role player.
Yeah,
and for the
he's like D Wade when he was with the Cavs, bro, or with the Bulls. He's like D Wade when he's with the Cavs or Bulls.
That you can get him at, he's worth a spot on your bench at the very minimum. Every single star that he's ever played with has spoke glowingly about him, except maybe Kevin Durant. But unfortunately, the Los Angeles Clippers decided to move away from Paul George for absolutely nothing, by the way, which means big changes were coming to the Los Angeles Clippers. And they were doing everything they possibly could to save some cap space. So with that being said, the Los Angeles Clippers have decided to trade Russell Westbrook to the Utah Jazz. Literally trade.
Oh yeah, Paul. If you got Paul George, he discussed it on his podcast. Just give me what Kawhi got. Just give me what Kawhi got. I don't know. I will understand that, but he's on a JJ Redick podcast. I think it was JJ Redick. He's on JJ Redick podcast stating, Kawhi's number one. I'm the number two. Kawhi's number one option. I'm the number two. So why would you expect to get the same thing Kawhi got if you're the number two watching? He's the number one. You know what I'm saying, P? You said it yourself. That's why you gotta be careful with you. You can't be out here just yapping, bro. Like me. You can't be like me. You gotta be careful what you say. Because teams can use that against you when it comes to negotiation. They probably pulled up that clip. They should have, you know what I'm saying? They probably pulled up that clip of you on the JJ Redick podcast. Kawhi is the one. I'm number two. So why are you getting paid number one then if you number two? What did you do? Come on now.
Back to the team that he originally got traded to by the Los Angeles Lakers. So the trade announcement comes from Adrian Wojnarowski. According to Woj, ESPN sources, the Los Angeles Clippers are sending guard Russell Westbrook a second-round pick swap and cash to the Utah Jazz in a sign-and-trade agreement
for Chris Dunn. They traded Russell Westbrook to Chris Dunn, bro. This dude was out the league 2 years ago.
Dunn had a productive 88 games in parts of 2 seasons.
5 points, 4 rebounds. Westbrook does that with his eyes closed, bro.
With the Utah Jazz, averaging 5 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds, and a steal in 19.
Clippers got worse.
Last season. He'll join
it's just Kawhi and Harden. They're not going to do anything. They too old.
Option in its final year. Westbrook is expected to agree on a contract buyout with the Utah Jazz, clearing the way for him to eventually join the Denver Nuggets after clearing waivers, sources tell ESPN. So to touch upon the Los Angeles Clippers perspective, they just get slightly younger at the point guard position. Chris Dunn has had a handful of games where he's looked legit, primarily during the 22-23 season, when he actually got to play in some meaningful minutes for the Utah Jazz. For the most part, what Chris Dunn brings to the table is defense. Defensively, he's always been very solid throughout his career with a positive defensive box plus minus despite being on multiple teams, which is a huge testament to him because usually your defensive box plus minus is influenced by your team surrounding you.
Huh?
Whenever you have a
Defensive plus, what the hell? Plus minus defense. Enough with all this analytics talk, bro. It's for the nerds that got their jobs through nepotism, bro. They're their owners. They're following all the team owners. Their dad's the team owners, so naturally they get a job. Analytics. Who came up with that name? I want to know who came up with the name analytics, bro.
2019 to 20 Chicago Bulls.
Yo, your plus minus is bad. We gotta keep you out the game. Analytics is what drove Daryl Morey out of Houston, bro. Analytics. Hey, that's why Daryl Morey don't got no rings, because of analytics. Please! Please!
The Los Angeles Clippers are looking for in this swap with Russell Westbrook and Chris Dunn. But I know the reason you guys are here, and you probably want to know what this means for the Nuggets and what this means for Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook is very likely joining the Denver Nuggets. This is something that we've been hearing all off season long. We didn't know the means in which that was going to happen, but it's really funny because like
dang,
once Russell Westbrook clears waivers, the expectation is that he'll join the Denver Nuggets as a free agent and bring them another veteran to bolster the team's bench and be available as a spot starter. In the top.
What's so funny?
Russell Westbrook reading bolster the team's bench. It's like Nikola Jokic when he sees Russell Westbrook's shot selection off of the bench. It's interesting because this is the
bro, you got Michael Porter Jr. on your team. You shouldn't be saying nothing, Jokic. You got Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter don't pass the rock for nothing, bro. Because he's 16, he like to shoot over everyone. Just because he can do it don't mean you have to every time, bro. No. I don't want to hear you say nothing about shot selection. They got Michael Porter Jr. in the team, bro. Michael Porter Jr. takes the horrific shots. Horrific. Not terrific. Horrific. And you gonna talk about rush shot selection. Like, MPJ is 6'10", but you know what I'm saying? Because you 6'10" don't mean you gotta shoot every shot you take.
Russ will be bought out by
every time you touch the ball.
Get away from the fun facts and talk basketball for a second. This is
Russell
Westbrook's ring-chasing era. He's trying his best to latch on with a championship contender that was very close to winning last year. If it wasn't for that down in the second half versus the Minnesota
Timberwolves. I thought you meant the Clippers. Oh, yeah.
I've seen the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals, and in my opinion, I felt like the Nuggets could match up against the Dallas Mavericks a little bit better than
I think the Nuggets would have beat the Mavericks because, you know, Gafford and Lowry, they ought to be out there with Jokic. And they not used to being out there with Jokic, you know, on the perimeter. Jokic up there doming them up and whatnot.
So the Timberwolves would have, and maybe they would have been able to make it to the NBA Finals to face off against the Celtics. But there's a glaring difference between the championship winning team of the 2023 Denver Nuggets and this past year's Denver Nuggets and the future Denver Nuggets. And it's their weakness keeps getting weaker. Their biggest problems get significantly worse.
What's that?
Last year, the Denver Nuggets lost Jeff Green and Bruce Brown, two of their biggest role players in free agency, primarily because Michael Porter Jr.'s rookie contract extension officially kicked in last year. That was signed in 2021. You have to understand, in September of 2021, Michael Porter Jr. looked like the next coming of Kevin Durant. This is when he came off of a season averaging 19 points per game off of 45% shooting from three. So the Denver Nuggets
about Ray-Ban flight mine? I know you use Ray-Ban. What is interesting? She shot 45%? How you get worse?
Literally had the next Kevin Durant on their team.
How do you get worse?
I don't blame them for feeling this way because by signing Michael Porter Jr. to this early rookie extension, they were hoping that they would free up cap flexibility for themselves moving forward. Unfortunately, Michael Porter Jr. has not been the next coming of Kevin Durant.
He got worse, yep.
Don't get me wrong, he is a...
But Russ is gonna unlock him. Russ is gonna unlock him for surely. For surely. For surely.
% three-point shooter, averaging about 17 points per game. He was expected...
I mean, at least he's healthy. He played 81 games.
Be the number 2 option behind Nikola Jokic.
No, it was Murray's the number 2. I mean, number 3 option. Murray's gonna be the number 2 option.
And so far, he just hasn't been that player. And as a result of Michael Porter Jr.'s contract extension finally kicking in, Denver Nuggets weren't able to retain Bruce Brown. And now the Denver Nuggets lost an additional role player that was vital.
Oh, they lost KCP?
Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
Oh, they went to the Magic?
So the Nuggets...
Oh, yeah, Magic. Yeah, the Magic. You know what I'm saying? They almost beat the Cavs in the first round. Magic got better for sure for adding KCP. For surely. KCP, he's a journeyman.
essentially
He has to get
hoping
bounced around every 2 years.
to replace Kentavious Caldwell-Pope with Russell Westbrook. I mean, yeah, no team has ever tried that before. There's just so many parallels. It's like you're seeing so much stuff happening again. I mean, the Los Angeles Lakers traded Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope alongside a first-round draft pick in return for Russell Westbrook initially. The Lakers became a shell of their former selves as a result of that. In order to fix this Los Angeles-based team traded Russell Westbrook to the Utah Jazz, where he got bought out and signed with the Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers then in turn traded Russell Westbrook back to the Utah Jazz, where he would get bought out and eventually sign with the Denver Nuggets. Now, obviously, the circumstances are way different.
Westbrook in Utah. Buyout. Shake the hand. Buyout.
Sign a veteran minimum contract here, so it's not going to be as catastrophic as his Lakers tenure. But I have to admit, man, for the Denver Nuggets, this is definitely not a huge upgrade. I mean,
Yes, it is. They got a bench. They got a bench. At least if they put Russ off the bench or put Jamal Murray on the bench, whoop-de-doo. They got a bench now. What you mean? Russ can get, you saw what Russ did without Harden, PG, or Kawhi that one game against the Suns. He had a triple-double at halftime. Come on, Jokic gonna have a triple-double with him. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Come on now.
Saric will bring them some much needed depth, who they signed a week ago. Aside from that, man, it's very difficult to replace players like
they got that dude that was on a commercial with Jokic. He's nice. He's just athletic though. Basically, he just used that on defense.
Brown and KCP. So let me know in the comment section down below, how do you guys feel about this, especially if you're a Nuggets fan, if you're a Russ fan? Do you think Russell Westbrook would fit in with the Denver Nuggets? Do you think Jokic Russ pick and rolls will work out very well?
Yes.
I'd like to hear what you have to say.
Yes, because Jokic shoot and roll at the and get points in the paint. So yes, it's gonna work. You gotta have another person to run pick and roll with Jokic.
For that, I'm your boy Mike.
Not just Murray, not just Jamal Murray, but
until our next upload.
Not just Jamal Murray, but now you got Russ, Jokic. Hey, like I said, Russ getting bounced around, but he's getting bounced around to contenders, so you can't be mad. The NBA wants him to win a ring. This is proof right here. What do you do? Russ, you gonna do it?